What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about MicroStrategy today, MSTR. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, all right? Here we are on this, the 9th day of June, with about 4 hours and 33 minutes left in the day. We're up 2.6%, which is nice to see. It's very uncommon what we're doing right now, or what we're potentially setting up to do. And this actually might be a really good case to be bearish on Bitcoin still, is the fact that MicroStrategy here, you've gone below your 236 to such an extent that I feel like it's probabilistic to a very large degree that you go down to the 382, at least down there, before you move up higher. This is something that's kind of holding me back from being completely bullish on Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin also moving up with very low levels of volume, compared to back here. You're at areas of resistance and stuff. We'll see. It's very possible, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Weird things happen. It's very possible that that's the low and that you're ready to move up higher. It could happen. But statistically, with the way that the fibs look right now, I would think that you have like a 90% chance or more to go down to $342. We're still holding out for that. 342. Let's look at the MSTR open interest. Let's look at this stuff here real quick. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, so strategy, but you still have the MicroStrategy symbol there. Anyways, open interest. Let's see what's going on. Why is it being so weird? Why is it okay? I was like, why is it being weird? Here we go. Okay, so here we go. So you can see that open interest is still predominantly to the upside, right? We've got a lot of longs and a lot of calls coming in here. At least for this week. Next week, we're outweighed on the bearish note. That's cool. So maybe that expires on June 20th. Okay, so then we expire June 13th here. June 20th. That would be next week, yeah. We're set up to be bullish, just maybe not yet. Most of the time with this stuff, whenever you see open interest, whenever you have a put to call ratio that's below 1, you would expect the price to move down or at least be stagnant before we begin to move up. But next week, when that rolls over, I think that we'll have a little bit more of a fighting chance to move up, and I would think that that does happen. Man, that's a lot. That is a lot right there for this week, man. Let's see here. Hold on. Let's go to max pain. Max pain is a little bit lower at 375 as well. I have a hard time being bullish whenever I see stuff like this, right? We've been bullish in the face of this stuff before, and it normally bites you in the ass. Not always, but again, just reasons to be skeptical of the price going up here. The predominant reason I'd be skeptical really is just this 236. That kind of interaction. It's like you either do or you don't find support at the 236. You either do or you don't. You know what I mean? Like it just. And if you don't, you go down to the 382, 342, $342 right there at the 382 is right here at this prior area of resistance. Breakout, back test, then continue to rip. Makes sense to me. I think that the rest of this week we'll probably be working our way down to 342, 343. It's taken its sweet time, but whenever it is time to move up, it will make up for all the time that it's taken just to get to this level, right? We look at this. Whenever you move up, it's very, very fast, especially whenever you're in full stride. We're figuring ourselves out right now. We're figuring things out. You moved up here at a decent pace too, but relative to this overall move, I would say that the fastest part happened after the breakout, not before the breakout, right? Here, this is pretty nice here, but the fastest part is yet to come. Once we break out to new highs, that's whenever I think we're really going to get going. Looking at the daily RSI, this thing is very, very bullish. We got higher lows, higher highs, all that stuff. But here, if you notice, you found support, you moved up like this. Here, when you found support, you moved up like this. Here, you're kind of dilly-dallying. Different behavior might get different results. So perhaps you do go a little bit lower down to the oversold zone, bounce there. It seems that you like to find support there, just above, just below, just above, just below, right above it all this time. It would make sense that we go a little bit lower. And if we saw something like that, I think that would really agree with the idea. We're at 384 now, that we'd go down about $40 down to 340, 335, 345, whatever. It doesn't have to be perfectly exact to this high here, but something in that area, yeah? So something in that area between like 345, 335, something like that. Afterwards, we will begin moving up higher. The target has not changed. It's been the same. I mean, hell, man, it's been the same target since we were back here. The expectation is to move up above $1,000. We will see prices that are all the way up at about $1,155 to $1,700, probably somewhere in that zone. I'm thinking closer to $1,300 personally, but time will tell. That's the expectation, at least at the moment. just being where we are now too in the fibs here, it would make a lot more sense to go lower. Typically when you find resistance at the golden ratio, you find support between the 0.5 and the 382, and we haven't even interacted with the 0.5 yet. So I'm still under the impression that we go lower. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame and then we'll zoom out from there, okay? 1 hour time frame. The 1 hour looks volatile, okay? Very volatile. A little volatility down here. I wouldn't say you're bullish, but I wouldn't say you're bearish either. Neutral with a hint of volatility. I don't know, you could be bullish. We'll see. Time will tell, but I'm not completely swayed by this yet. Volume is still dying off and you're moving up. I'm not swayed by this. Looking at the 3 hour time frame, you've got some bullish things going on. Yeah, you're breaking out of your downtrend here. You're still not showing bullishness. Finding resistance at the 60 area while getting oversold is not good, but hey, at least you didn't get oversold again. You found resistance at the 60, you found support at the 40, so you're very neutral, like true to the word neutral, with an overall kind of bearish look, relatively speaking. Overall, it's really actually bullish, but just relatively speaking, it's a little bit more bearish. And then immediately speaking, it's neutral. So we're going to wait and see, I guess. We're just going to wait and see. My expectation, we're at $385 now. My expectation still remains that we're going to 345, 335, somewhere in that area. But if you want to prove me wrong, if you want to go up and you don't want to go down and you want to make me look silly, I'm so silly for ever thinking you'd go down to 340, or 340, then get above, I mean, basically you'd have to get above these highs. I think if we start closing days, if you can close this week or start closing multiple days above $393, I would start to be convinced that we move up. I mean, if we're back above the golden ratio, there's reason enough to be bullish. Typically, if you get in there once, you find resistance, but if you get there twice and you don't even touch the 0.5, that's actually more bullish than it is bearish. So if we can close above the golden ratio, not get in there, don't just get above 393. If you get up there but then you reject, that's not the same thing that I'm talking about. I'm talking about closing. If you get some candle bodies to close here or higher, then perhaps you are absolved of going down to 340. Perhaps you will be moving up, and maybe I'm wrong about my prospects or my predictions on Bitcoin too. Maybe BTC and MSTR are about to rip to new all-time highs. But time will tell. I have a feeling that we will know more by tomorrow, and certainly we'll have a more definitive answer by the end of this week. It's a little bit unclear for me right now, but over the next 4 days, over the next 24 hours even, we should have a little bit more writing on the wall. I got nothing else to say. Hit the like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. Bye-bye.